Whenever a new Call of Duty game comes out, I get my hands on the pistols and the marksman rifles straight away, separating the wheat from the chaff and getting ourselves in a position where I can recommend to you what the best ones are for what situations. We've got a unique situation this year because Warzone isn't as great as people were expecting it to be, and multiplayer is actually doing a lot better than everyone expected it to do as well, so figure that one out. But today we are going to be comparing the SVT-40 against the M1 Garand. We're going to be using the builds that I've used in previous videos, as I believe these builds to be the best builds for these weapons. And in both these guns, if you are using any other build in the builds that I have made for these, you're actually going to struggle. So we're sticking to these builds. If you want to know what they are, I have put them in the cards and I have put them in the description below as well, so make sure you check them out after this one. But yeah, let's break it down. So we're going to go straight into the damage. Damage on the SVT base is 66, and that's going to be compared to the M1 Garand's 60, which these are decent numbers. It means you're guaranteed a 2-hit kill. So yeah, that's happy times for these weapons. Now the critical hit, notice how I don't say headshot. The critical hit for the SVT is going to be 132, which is obviously more than a 1-hit kill in multiplayer, which basically means you one-tapping people. And the M1 Garand is going to be coming in at 90, which is respectable. If they've taken any of our damage, hell, if they've taken a stun or two, you're going to one-hit them with a headshot. So yeah, good damage all around on criticals for both these weapons. Now, the rate of fire, on the SVT, it's going to be a pitiful 133 rounds per minute. Yes, there are barrels that make this a lot better. However, it's going to be hurting damage. We'll get to that later. But for now, just stick with the 133 and then compare that to the M1 Garand, which is more than double. It's 300 RPM. So if you're not getting that one-hit kill with the SVT, you're going to be dropping people so much quicker with the M1 Garand. Now, the next thing that we need to discuss here is the range. The range on the SVT is an absolutely mind-blowing 228 meters. That is ridiculous. And then that's just getting compared to the 57 meters of the M1 Garand. Now, 57 meters is actually really good, but when you're comparing that to the SVT, it just looks really bad. But no, 57 meters is more than enough for what you're going to need in multiplayer. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Although in Warzone, it's going to leave a lot to be desired. Now, I am actually going to be bringing up the ADS speed for the marksman rifles versus series, and the reason I'm doing that is because it does actually make a big difference on the handling and feel of all of the weapons. So on the SVT, this build, which bear in mind this is the only build you can really run it sustainably, it's going to be 603 milliseconds to aim down sight. That is huge. That is ridiculously huge. That's sniper levels of huge. And we're going to compare that to the 456 against the M1 Garand, which it's okay. It's not fantastic, but it's okay. It's okay for a marksman rifle. You'd want more than an assault rifle. Obviously, you'd want a lot more than a submachine gun. But for a marksman rifle, sniper rifle, it's okay. And then we're going to talk about the bullet velocity. Both weapons are coming in at 930 meters per second, which is actually quite respectable. It's not quite as high as the SKS and the EBR from Modern Warfare and Warzone, but it is actually still quite decent. Now, of course, you can put bullet velocity attachments on there to actually make it a little bit further, like the ammo type, for example. Because on both these builds, I'm not using the lengthened bullets. I'm using other ones. I think I'm using FMJ on both, actually. So yeah, just bear that in mind. That you can make that a little bit bigger for essentially free. Now, the mag size is going to be 10 on the SVT, though 15. However, I just go with the 10 because it adds even more aim down sight speed, and I don't really have that any more ADS time to add on to it. I don't have that space to add on the weapon, so I always run the 10, but you can't go up to 15. And then on the M1 Garand, 16, and it has a quicker reload as well. So on the reload, it's going to take you 3 seconds on the SVT, and then 2.2 seconds on the M1 Garand, because on the M1 Garand, we're rocking sleight of hand because we can afford to, whereas you can't really afford to use that on the SVT build. Next, we are going to talk about the time to kill. This is where it's all at. This is where the money's made for both the weapons, and the time to kill is going to dictate exactly if a weapon's drawbacks are worth having, and basically a good guide to compare the pair of them. So we'll start off with Vanguard, because it's quite simple in Vanguard. In Vanguard, you are going to have a time to kill of 0 milliseconds. Whatever time it takes your bullet to hit your target is your time to kill on the SVT. It is a one shot to the chest, to the body. It will one tap. Low admin probably is going to be a 2-hit kill, but from diaphragm upwards, you are one tapping people, and it is one of the more satisfying things in the game. And the fact that you're doing that from pretty much any range, it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, Warzone. Whoo! Actually, no, Vanguard time to kill for M1 Garand. 200 milliseconds, which is 2 shots. It's okay. It's not the best. A lot of things are going to kill quicker than this, but it's okay, especially if you want to try and pick people off at range. Now, I want to talk about the Warzone time to kill. Warzone time to kill, if you land body shots or a headshot on the SVT, it's going to be 451 milliseconds, which is 2 shots. However, and this is a big one, if you do not hit the chest or the head, you are probably going to need, well, you will need 3 shots to kill. Well, you probably need more than 3 shots to kill, but let's just assume that one of them hits the chest. 3 shots to kill, which is going to be 902 milliseconds, which is ridiculous. So you need to make sure you're making that accuracy count, because if you're not making that accuracy count on the SVT, there's no point in using it. You have to be a sharpshooter with this. Otherwise, you can kiss your KD goodbye. Now, on Warzone, that's going to come in at 800 milliseconds, equating to 5 shots. Now, at mid-range, mid to long range, that is an okay time to kill, but up close, you want to pull out that submachine gun, something that'll do the job a bit quicker. But long range, 800 milliseconds isn't too bad, but landing 5 shots at long range is going to be a big ask, whereas you compare that to 2. Yeah. It just goes to show you, though, however, that you're going to be using the SVT as more of a marksman rifle, as opposed to an assault rifle, marksman rifle hybrid that I've used marksman rifles for in the past in Warzone, in previous iterations, DMR, FAL, EBR, SKS. This is definitely going to be on the longer range for the SVT. Honestly, M1 Garand in Warzone, I don't really think is worth using. The SVT is slow, but it flows, and that's just kind of how the weapons go. I really enjoy using both in multiplayer, though the SVT has got a clear advantage. It's got a clear advantage in Warzone, in Warzone, and it's good enough in multiplayer. Obviously, you're one-tapping people. You can't compete with that. Though if you're missing multiplayer, you're gonna have a hard time. And that's probably gonna be around it will be 450 milliseconds to kill someone if you're not hitting someone with that second bullet. Which is a really big problem, because, you know, if you're hitting someone with the second bullet and you need that second bullet to kill 451 compared to 200 milliseconds, it's more than double the time to kill of the M1 Garand if you just hit those 2 shots straight away. So just bear that in mind. If you miss a bullet, or you're not killing someone the first shot with the SVT, the M1 Garand is what you want in multiplayer. If you are hitting the chest or the head consistently, SVT is the way to go. Warzone, SVT all the way if you're going to be using anything. And remember that you're going to get a lot more value per bullet, because they're both using sniper ammo as well in Warzone on the SVT, so just bear that in mind as well, guys. But yeah, that's going to be everything for this particular Versus video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button below and consider subscribing if you're new here. We are nearly at 500 subscribers, and it would be absolutely amazing if we could get there quickly, because you guys are amazing, and I want to keep on pushing out all this content for you and really make a go of it in 2022. But yeah, till then, guys, I'm ShadowsReign. You guys are awesome, and this has been my SVT and M1 Garand versus guide. Peace. I need to flip the spawns or something here. Is that a Thompson?
Enemy's got a glide bomb incoming.
Ah, 3 bloodthirsties, I like that.
Enemy has bombers on the way. Bombers ready for orders. Fury kill.
Get them called in now.
Our attack dogs are on the loose. Recon them up. Die.
Alright, I'm calling an airstrike. The dogs are in. Let's get on B.
Double kill. Friendly bombing run inbound.
Snapshot server error. Of course there was.